The digital scrutinizer. What gameplay or thematic elements do you consider to be the crux of the horror presented in The Bunker and the other Amnesia titles? The crux of the horror. What elements? I mean, if I'm gonna look at all of the Amnesia games, there's one thing that is common for all of them, and that is the light and darkness gameplay. You look at The Dark Descent, you have the sanity mechanics. Rebirth, you have the fear mechanic, and in The Bunker you have the generator mechanic that actually, yeah. So I think that would be the main thing that goes for all of them. Jimmy Larsson. Amnesia The Bunker is one of my favorite games in recent years, and I really look forward to your future projects. Thank you. With that said, I don't really have a question other than will we get an Amnesia The Bunker plushie? Would fucking love that. Ooh, I would fucking love that too. Let's see. Soon Moon Aise. The game is called The Bunker, which makes sense since it takes place in a bunker. But if The Bunker hadn't been chosen, were there any other names considered for the game? What were some of the alternative titles, if any? I don't think there was any. Like, it was so clear when I pitched the idea. We came out of Rebirth, and I've been frustrated with the choice we made for the... It's a very suitable name, Amnesia Rebirth, knowing the theme and everything of that game. But frustrating seeing people saying like, oh, I thought that was a remake. I thought that was a remaster or something like that. So that was horrible. So I said when I pitched this, let's just call this Amnesia The Bunker. There's no misunderstandings what this game is about. So, and from that point, everyone said, yes, let's do it. And then we never discussed the name in any seriousness at least. Amber N. Bolin. Were there any lessons that came from the development that you plan to apply in your next games? Yeah, I think it's okay to trust the player. The player will sort this out, and with this challenge, they will get a stronger sense of reward. You can see that. Like, people are accelerated, like excited about the experiences they've had because they feel like they went through it. They didn't just like follow the designer's choices and those kind of things. So I think that's the main, like, a lesson. That was what we set out to do. It was the thing we wanted to see if we could get working, and it came out positive. Lord Semen Ships. Were there ever any plans for the game's narrative to lean more into the Mithraism cult Otherworld, or was it always supposed to be very self-contained? Amazing game, by the way, dare I say, best game, the best Amnesia game to date. It started off as a DLC, and DLC we wanted it to be self-contained, and it was nice to have it very self-contained. So no, and slice of life. We talked about it like a slice of life. Just very small experience this time, having come from Rebirth, which was kind of grand, showing a lot of the dark world aspects, and so this would be more like what could have happened, like almost starting talking about these kind of smaller stories, calling them fragments in the Amnesia universe. So no, there was no thoughts, not really into doing more of that. What have you learned from approaching a game from a fun replayability angle, and how will this knowledge impact the team going forward? Of course, Bunker is is as dreary and dreadful as your other games, but it's much more gameplay systems focused, which was quite different for you all. I think we've learned that it's super fun to develop these. I mean, I think there was like playtesting again, the team was surprised how fun it was. Like, people were always saying, I can't imagine, like, I've played it so many times, it's still fun to play this. And I think it's because of the dynamic nature of the game and the randomness and all of these kind of things. So I think none of us would mind making that type of a like experience again. So yeah, I guess that's something we learned from the fun and replayability angle. Rexer, happy anniversary. My question is about the gameplay element. I was wondering what's the point of the manual health check, hold inventory button, when you can just see it in the inventory anyway. I mean, it's just an immersion thing. I mean, you instead of just being this jarring experience where you flash up the inventory in your face and every time you want to check your health, you just be able to hold up your hand and look at the blood that way. It's a more in-world experience and allowing for the player to have the control to do so. I doubt that many players do that on a regular basis, but at least we had it there. He even had 1962. Does the beast accept smooches? Chopotenya. What was the thought behind the bunker's layout? Was it based on a real bunker? I really like how different pieces of the objectives are scattered around in a way that you can see them before you actually need any of them. No, there's we did a lot of research online for the bunker itself, and we found a couple inspirations. I don't remember the names now, but it's like they all got mixed together, also taking some creative freedom and adding certain things in that we believed would have had to be in such a bunker. So no, there was not a specific bunker in mind in any way in that sense. But I mean, oh, you really like, yeah, and with regards to the items that you can see, that was super important. We wanted the player to actually be able to kind of see that there's a lighter in a locker. So we want the player, instead of them stumbling upon what they need, they should see what they need and then purposely go after what they need or what they want. Like the lighter is in the mission storage locker. If you find it, when you go there, you can see that it's lying in there. You can see the name on the locker, so now you know at least which code you're looking for, which corpse you're looking for, and it makes it feel more with a purpose for the player to go looking for it. Cash Manigan, will there be another game jam for user-created maps and story? Been wanting to see what the community can create from the framework. Yes, there's actually one running right now as I'm sitting here. It's I'm super hyped about it because it's themed, escape room themed fan jam running now, and I'm hoping there's going to be cool things coming out. It's not only for the bunker but for all of our games, but of course bunker is from an escape room perspective probably quite suitable to mod, so really looking forward to seeing what's coming out of that. Enrique Exap, what was your favorite part of the game in general to design? Something you finished and thought, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, there was a constant feeling of those moments, but one that stood out was, in the beginning, we had the monster be more active in dark areas of one level. So that was confusing to the player. They could be in a lit room and hear the monster stalking around out in, from a game world perspective, he was in a dark room, but for the player, they didn't know that. So they felt like, oh, the light doesn't do anything. He's still out there doing his stuff. So we made a change where we moved the stalker behavior and attached it more to the generator, and said, okay, the stalker actually more cares about if the generator is on or not. And then we put him inside the wall, so he could be sitting close to you. You could hear him react to when you pulled the flashlight, for example, or made a noise, moved something around, and if he's close by, or grunt at you from the hole. And that was just oh my god, this is scary shit. And I remember going to Thomas saying something like, I think we made it too scary of a game now. And Thomas sounds good. I was like, no, I mean it, but sounds good. Okay, so I ran with that, and then we continued along that path. Kind of felt almost difficult for me to play in the beginning as well. Weird Ship 719. What's the most interesting cut content? I guess the most interesting one for me was the giant rat that we had planned. It was actually a mistake by someone who had not changed back like a parameter of the size of the rat. So when I was playtesting, I ended up in the maintenance, and all of a sudden there's a huge rat feasting on a corpse there, and I'm like, we need this. And so we actually made a version of the giant rat where we tried it out, but we realized it's gonna have to have a lot of stuff, new stuff. We wanted that rat to be in the water-filled section leading down into the tunnels, but also have it appear randomly throughout the game. So it would have been fun, because that would have become like another enemy in all of this that you could kill, of course, with a grenade or something like that. But it turned out to be too complicated, and we would have, if we wanted to have the giant rat, we would have had to move the release date, and that's an easy decision in the end. Alexander Bruins, what's your favorite thing that didn't make it into the game? I think the meat silencer. We had an idea with since we had cloth and we had meat, and meat is basically only used for one thing in the game, and that's to attract the rats. So we said, okay, if we combine cloth and meat, and you can put it on the gun, you can use it once to have like a silent shot that the stalker wouldn't be able to pick up. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. But again, lack of time, and also felt a bit of an awkward thing to add to a game when everything else feels so grounded. So Jeffinator 06, is there anything about the game that you guys would change but can't now that the game has been out for a while? I think for me, if there's anything I would have liked to have more time on, to iterate a few more times on, it's the final showdown with the stalker in the arena. That whole experience was meant as a way we put the player through a bunch of stuff. The route to that moment is what this game is all about. That's why we didn't prioritize the endings more than we did, I guess, because it's the journey leading up to that moment that is important in this game. But what we wanted that moment to be was like a culmination of everything you've learned, all of the resources you know now how to use, and have that become like your the culmination of that, and where you had to put all your skills and remaining resources to the challenge. But that it could have become better. I think it's okay. I like the ending. I have fun playing it myself. I think some people might have become a bit frustrated by that and the arena experience, and maybe difficult for them to fully understand how everything works. There's some new mechanics where you can jump. The stalker can jump over broken bridges. You need to break bridges. It's quite a new experience compared to the rest of the game. So if anything, I would have gone back and maybe have us work more on that. But I think it's perfectly okay as it is, given that the game up until that point is like a huge boss fight anyway. Shini Vasyenka, why you do my boy Lambert like that, Lo? Sorry, I mean, what can we do? I mean, he pissed in Henri's flask, didn't he? So, I mean, some kind of punishment is due. So we have Casper 112. Why is Frederick's... Oh, this is an important question. Why is Frederick so cool? I love his commentary in his videos, and he just feels like such a nice person to be around. Also, his voice is just so soothing. Virtual hug? Yeah, virtual hug back at you. I guess I'll have to refer that question to my parents or something. Maybe I can share in the comments my mother's Twitter account. You reach out to her there and ask, because I think I was just born this way. But I'm happy to hear that I can be soothing to some people. Okay. 006 MLG or MIG. My only question since day one has been, spoiler, is Henri killed or detained by the Germans at the end? The Bunker is my favorite Amnesia game. Seriously loved every second of it. 10 out of 10. There has been tons of these questions popping up. Everyone want to know what happened to Henri. Honestly, I'm not going to say. It's up to you to decide what you think happened. That's why we left it where we left it. So your own headcanon is what's the right thing. Go with that. And yeah, I think this is the final question. Is there more content coming? I want to throw more money at this game. There's no concrete plans of expanding on this. We don't know. It's a very popular game. It's been fantastic to see the reception. Who knows in the future? Until then, I guess, until we know, we can at least hope that there's mods, like creative stuff coming out of the community, mods coming out, the new fan jam going on right now. I would love to see that. That doesn't solve your problem here, since you wanted to throw more money at it, since the mods are free, but I mean, that's the best we can do. Otherwise you'll just have to buy it on every platform available. But I think, let's see, yeah, that's it. I think that's all for us. I'm super happy. This year has been like a ride for us. It was a bit of a risk taking this game, and it's a bit of a risk in a way that it's a lot of new stuff. We talked about them here: guns, mechanics, systems, one save point. There's a lot of things that are maybe not so similar to what we've done before, but people have just gone in loving the whole thing, and we're just overwhelmed by all the positiveness. We're gonna take this with us moving forward, and hope that we can make people just as happy the next time around. So 6th of June is first year anniversary. You might be watching this on 6th of June or after 6th of June. It's also the Swedish National Day, which means yay Sweden, and we're a Swedish studio, of course. So thank you for listening to me babbling for so long. I wish everyone the best of times out there, and see you soon.